Our next guest is going to share all the goods from Solana Beach. Please welcome real estate advisor, Ryan White.
There he is. What's up, my friend?
Thank you.
How you doing? Ryan White is
Very
here.
good. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you here. Your picture's on the wall. Did you notice that on the way in?
I know.
You
Look
see
at that? I know. They filmed me a lot in front of that. Didn't know I was here the whole time, did you?
All right, man. Solana Beach.
Solana Beach.
Can't believe we've never talked about Solana Beach on this show. I live right next door in Del Mar, so I know, those are two like smaller beach communities, but quite different though for people who don't.
Certainly
know
some
Solana
differences.
Beach. Yeah.
Certainly some differences about the two. Pricing is a big one. Solana Beach is, well, we'll call it more affordable.
What's the get in Solana Beach? How much do I need to
get in?
Yeah. How do I get into Solana Beach as a buyer?
$500,000, 500,000. Get you a condo, and a lot of the attraction there is the school system.
Right.
So certainly you can get a one-bedroom for less, but many people that are spending the money and making it worth the spend are doing it to get their kids in that community. And you can't really have kids in a one-bedroom, so that puts you at a two-bedroom. It's right around 500, but with that complex, it's FHA approved, so you're in at 3.5%.
Nice.
Not too bad. It's about the only FHA approved complex that makes sense around there.
Okay, so for people who don't know about the schools and the system, they have their own like system going on in Solana Beach, right? It's like,
well, elementary and middle,
Solana
Beach, and then you go to San Dieguito for high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the elementary and middle schools, is it something about the way they operate the teachers or the pay or something? Don't they do something different in Solana Beach than they do in other areas?
Well, my wife is a teacher there.
Yeah.
So I should know this. Well, they K through 3 is at one school, Solana Vista, and then upper elementary, Skyline, which is just on the other side of the street, and then Earl Warren, which is getting a renovation, is the middle school.
Gotcha. And that's 6 to
Maybe
8.
that's what you were talking about.
Yeah. So they have it separated into
3 different schools to get you all the way through.
3 different schools. Okay.
Yeah.
So they keep the kids that are all approximately the same age all in one grouping, which is a different way of doing it. A lot of the elementary schools are K through 6.
That's right. Yep.
So this way is a little bit more specific to the kids.
It's a good way of looking at it, for sure.
Yeah, I like it. So, but they're also well known as being highly rated schools, very highly rated schools in Solana Beach, correct?
Yeah, certainly Solana Beach, Del Mar, Rancho, all kind of compete for the top spot. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's good. That's good for people who are family oriented, looking to go to Solana Beach.
We think so.
Let's talk about maybe the surfers or the bachelors or the doc. The 38-year-old doctor who wants a piece of the dream, as you've called it many times before, living the life.
Living the life.
What is that life, and what would you suggest for someone like that?
Well, the beach life there, as you mentioned, there's a little bit of surfing to be had there, but to be able to park yourself in that community can be done for the doctor, let's say under $2 million. Usually put you west of the 5, even more so west of Nardo, which is where it begins to slope down, and the homes all tend to have ocean views. And we certainly do see a lot of congregation of that athletic lifestyle happening right there in the community, and a lot of docs are part of that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. That's what I've noticed, because I work out, so I live in Del Mar, but I work out in Solana Beach over at Fit there.
Okay.
Where would you say the line, where is the line for Solana Beach versus Del Mar? Is it Via Del Valle?
Via Del Valle, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
That's the line.
And then on the north side?
On the north side of Via Del Valle, yep.
Yeah,
so Brigantine would be Del Mar.
Okay.
Officially, and of course the north side of that would be Solana Beach.
Okay, and then where's the north Solana Beach border?
Well, the street is Lomas.
Okay.
But Solana Beach extends beyond that. It's really to the lagoon. South of the lagoon is Solana Beach.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys count some of those houses that are east of the 5 as Solana Beach?
We do count east of the 5, which is where I live. Over there in the slums, east of the 5, Solana Beach. Solana Beach is only 4 square miles, so we count all of it, right? We got to count it all. There's some 6,000 homes there, and yes, certainly east of the 5 does count.
So if you go east of the 5 in Solana Beach, you can really start to get bang for your buck in the Solana Beach area. I mean, at least from what I've seen, there's some amazing homes over there for like $1 million, $1.2 million. East of the 5.
Sure, and so a very planned community, it was planned many years ago, but a planned community we call the Santas, because all the streets start with Santa something, which is again where I live. The lots are a little bit smaller. They're maybe 1/4 to 1/3 acre. Homes are a little bit smaller. They're probably averaged out 2,500 square feet, but that's the most affordable area. And if you're a family man like myself with a couple little kids, that's where the kids happen to be in the neighborhood, and certainly one of the schools, the primary school, Solana Vista, is right there as well, so an easy walk.
Okay. Cool. So for people with young kids,
It's a good place to start.
Good place to start.
Good place. Let's call it entry-level home.
But none of the schools are very far away.
No, they're not. But
They're all really
like today, I
close.
walked my kid to school. It took us 4 minutes. And, you know, he's 6, and we argue about putting shoes on and all that stuff, and we barely make it. And we're only a few houses away. So being able, having to drive, you know, that extra 4 blocks, it's really nice to not have to.
What are some of the things that people are drawn to Solana Beach for? Like when you talk to someone who's not from the area, they're like, yeah, I really want to look at Solana Beach. What is it that they're coming for?
There's a vibe there that I think is not obtainable in other areas. So, for example, a lot of people are driven to Encinitas for the nightlife. And certainly there is some of that in Solana Beach, but it's tamed down quite a bit from what you get in Encinitas. It does seem to be those people that are, I don't mean to say there's nobody single there, but those people that already have met their significant other and are looking for a reason to go out and have a good time. That's the kind of nightlife that exists there, as well as proximity to great surf or just beach in general. It's all right there with relatively decent parking. Some of those beaches in Del Mar are pretty hard to park at, right? And as you go up the coast, certainly there are other great spots to park at, but Solana Beach offers kind of a blend of the nightlife, the beach community, and a really laid back feel. It's the kind of place where, well, again, as there's only 6,000 households, you're going to see the same people every day you go to the grocery store. You see people you know everywhere you go. And I love that about the area.
Okay, so tight-knit community then.
Very tight. A lot of civically minded people that really want to give back to the community. We don't see many leaving. Transactions are, you know, 300 a year. And so we're looking at about 5% when you compare that with, say, Carmel Valley or some other areas. There's a lot of turnover. People in Solana Beach tend to stay put. And that gives a lot of that sense of community and a good reason to be more civically involved.
Do you think that, I mean, well, let me ask you this then. If I'm buying a house that isn't my forever house,
Okay.
do you feel like Solana Beach is a good place to park my real estate dollars?
Well, I own there. I live there. I own several there. So putting my money where my mouth is, yes, absolutely. There are some trade-offs. I mean, if you're looking to buy it and live in and utilize what is there, absolutely. That $2 million home that we talked about, the doctor buying, doesn't make an incredible rental. You know, it is something if doctor wants to live there and enjoy the view, wonderful. But the return on that investment is possible, could get better for your money elsewhere. So it really depends on what you want to do with it. You're going to live there and raise kids? Of course. You're going to buy it and rent it? Maybe you buy something right on the water and turn that into something a vacation rental. There's a lot of upside that way.
Are you guys having the same vacation rental disgruntled situations that we're having in Del Mar where people are just up in arms about the vacation renters?
Not officially. There's no moratorium on vacation rentals. Solana Beach is still issuing vacation rental permits, which I know in Del Mar that is at least one point stopped. And yeah, are still issuing vacation rental permits. And you know, one of the small differences Solana Beach is set up between Villa del Valle and Loma Santa Fe, west of South Sierra, it is all condos there. And it is kind of set up in that multifamily aspect, meaning that the majority of our vacationers are heavily concentrated into that area. So potentially they're not bothering, you know, the people that are long-term owners and residents as much. But no, we're not having a big upheaval about that at all.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's good to know because it was for investors anyway. Because
sure.
If you bought a place in Del Mar to vacation rent it, you're probably a little upset at this point in time.
You probably are.
Yeah, you probably lost some value.
Yeah.
And so, but that's like one of the best ways to invest, I think, in San Diego real estate is to find something you can vacation rent, as far as, you know, dollar returns are concerned.
Vacation rentals are a decent income for sure, but they're a lot of work. You know, it's not like you can put a long-term renter in there, you sign a lease, and you check back in once a year to make sure smoke detectors work. This is a continual process, like running a hotel. 52 times. I mean, if you're going to really drive it the way you're describing and make the income you're talking about, you're renting to 52 different weeks of 50 different families every year. There's a lot of labor involved. Of course, there's management companies that do that,
sure,
but they want to slice too. So there's no doubt there's money to be made in that realm, but it is not, I wouldn't consider it easy money. It is, there's effort to be had.
You're going to earn your money.
You earn it. There's effort to be had. Yep.
You're going to earn it. What else? Is there anything else people should know about Solana Beach or considering the area?
Well, one of the things that I like, and we talked about the entry-level community there, you know, you can buy a 3-bedroom condo for around $500,000, and based on that, you can rent it for right around $3,000 a month. When I look at investing, I look at a ratio of approximately 0.5% a month or more on the investments I take. So in that case, $500,000 and $3,000 in rental, it's more than 0.5% a month. Of course, there are other factors. There's taxes and HOA. There's other things involved. But what we would hope to find is that you're able to establish a decent amount of cash flow and, of course, gains in equity. Solana Beach was not hit as hard as some other areas when things went down and back up. Relatively steady as far as that goes. So looking at something that makes you cash flow and is a relatively safe investment, I think that's a great way to go. And personally, I have invested in that.
You have clearly put your money where your
Money's
mouth
is.
is.
That's
Solana
right.
Beach. Mr. White, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.